Hi there, I'm Tony Joe from Remax Camosun here in Victoria, British Columbia, the most lovely city in North America, and especially today because the weather is fantastic. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure after you watch this video to watch the rest that we have posted as well too. We've created a number of educational segments here on our YouTube channel. I want to briefly touch today upon building inspections. So when you're buying a property, one of the questions that people always ask us is, should we get a building inspection done? And my answer is always yes. And the reason being is your real estate professional, real estate expert is not someone who is a certified building contractor or a builder. People like myself have not spent any time with hammer and nail in hand, so I cannot tell you about the systems and about how the building is like as far as structure and as far as condition. It is always best to get someone who is an expert in that field, in that range, to have another look for you as well. So speaking about houses, what can a building inspector do? Well, first of all, it's important to know that they do not have X-ray vision. So the inspection is a non-invasive inspection. They don't drill into walls, they don't test, or they can't see what's inside walls as far as plumbing and electrical and things like that. They will specify that they'll only be able to do a visual inspection of all the things they can see. So a building inspection in your house will include things like getting up on the roof to determine the condition of the roof, how it's looking. Of course, this sometimes is affected by the weather. We had one just a little while ago where it snowed, so the inspector had to go back after the snow had melted. They'll have a look at the electrical panel. They'll have a look at electrical outlets and check for the polarity in many of them. Not all of them, but many of them, just to make sure that it's correct. They will also look into things like plumbing, checking the flow of the water supply to see what the water line coming in is as far as size is concerned, and other things like that. A building inspector should get up into the attic to have a look and see what's up there as far as insulation is concerned, along with walking around the property to check for any sort of visual clues of any other types of problems. For your condominium, if you're purchasing a condo, obviously there's not much that can be seen other than the confines of the four walls. Again, the inspector will check heaters, they'll check appliances sometimes, depending on the inspector. You'll have to ask about that. They will check, again, electrical outlets and other things. In the condominium buildings, we'll find often the building inspector will get up and have a look at the roof. And sometimes they'll identify things that the strata was not aware of, and this can be very handy as well. As far as cost, generally speaking, we're looking between $400 and $600 for a good building inspector. Your real estate professional should be able to recommend to you a few inspectors that have served past customers well. And one of the things that I should say is that it is always very important for us to recommend a building inspector that's got the eagle eye and has identified issues. The building inspectors that we actually recommend are ones that we have seen actually cause deals not to proceed. Unfortunately, there are some building inspectors and realtors in town that work together, and inspectors sometimes are afraid to give a failing grade in a property because they're afraid perhaps that the realtor will not refer future business. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but it's just something that we have seen in past. Again, a real estate professional like myself or good agents will be able to recommend people that identify issues, because we don't want you to buy a bad property, and we most certainly as real estate people don't want to have to correct a problem that could just as easily have been dealt with by not proceeding with the sale early on. Anyways, I hope this segment here on building inspection has been of assistance. Again, feel free to have a look at our other videos on our YouTube channel. My name is Tony Joe, and I appreciate you watching.